I feel like every week I do the intro. So Nick, do you want to do the intro? Like just high energy, just hit it?
Let's do it. What's up, everybody? Happy Friday. It is
Hey,
office hours summer camp. How is that?
that
I'm
was great.
psyched.
I loved it. I loved it. I thought it was great. Yeah, welcome back to the show. Hi Nick. Hello.
What's going on, dude? I'm
Oh,
so glad it is Friday. Oh my gosh.
same.
Looking forward to this all day.
I agree. I'm actually really excited for today's show. It's one of those shows that I think is like essentially office hours where like we're vulnerable and like we all have feelings together. So I'm very excited. And yes, Anika in chat pointed something out. There is a blooper video on Discord. Nick and I record
Oh
a
my God.
lot of promos for this show, and there is a great blooper video. If you want to check it out, you can go right down here. Oh, let's not point with that finger because I broke a nail off there. Let's do down there. OH cabin chat bit.ly/OH cabin chat. That's where you can hang out in our Discord. Nick, what's happening in Discord as well? There's another thing in another channel that's happening, like
Uh,
from last week.
our homework.
Yes, that's right.
Yes.
What was our homework last week?
Our homework was to find a way to kind of get organized and get ready. I think it was just about us, this whole idea of this first part one and part two. And we saw some really good stuff. Everybody was really putting in some stuff to be a little more accountable, a little more organized. Saw some good stuff.
Yep, absolutely. And yes, yes, thank you. The nails, we already saw it. Here, I'll show you. I'll give you guys the close up, the beauty influencer. These are my nails. They're full mirror tint on those. So I got new nails. Welcome back to summer camp where nails are important. Yes, and like Nick said, we did have homework. We are going to go over the homework, and we're going to highlight some star campers at the end of the show. But we're also going to incorporate the homework in today's show because we're talking about accountability, and I
Yes.
did not do the homework. But we're going to walk you through a conversation of how to work with your buddy so that you can have those conversations. Nick, how do people get buddies?
You get buddies by getting on Discord and finding out. I saw so many good people reaching out to each other. I think there was one day where there was like a ton of them and everybody's like, will you be my buddy? So I think everybody's pretty much ready to go. Who needs one is
That's
the
true.
question, right?
Yeah, if you need a buddy, go ahead and put it in the Behance chat or hop over into Discord
Perfect.
and put it there. Also, if you're here for the first time, hi, welcome to Office Hours.
Yeah.
This is summer camp. We're having a great time kind of helping you guys level up your summer, make the most of it. Go ahead and give me a wave emoji in chat if you're here for the first time. And if you're on YouTube, make sure you come over to behance.net/live. That's where the live chat is. We're not looking at the YouTube chat, so come over to Behance and leave us a red heart to let us know that you came over from YouTube.
Perfect.
All right, Nick, we don't have a lot on our run of show for like announcements and pre-show stuff. Do we want to just hop in?
Let's see it. Should we go right into homework?
I think we should go right into homework. Let's talk real quick about kind of the structure of summer camp, of what's
Yeah.
happening. So
Give them the rundown.
we have been doing the last week. Today is actually week 2. And Nika, hi. This is week 2 of summer camp, and it's split up into sections. So I believe that there are 4 sections of 2 different weeks.
Two part.
T-
One
two-
and one and two part.
Yes, everything is going to be to be continued. So we have this week we're talking about accountability, we're talking about collaboration, and then in the next 2 weeks we're going to be talking about typography, which is going to be super fun. I'll probably be leading the first week with Nick, and we'll be doing a little bit of lecture on the basics and fundamentals of typography, and then the week after, Nick's pretty much going to take the stage. What are you doing, Nick, in 2 weeks?
Ooh, for typography?
Yes, we're reworking in your
Or-
favorite program.
Oh, we're gonna be doing typography in Dimension because now you can, and my God, it's like the most like jam-packed, incredible feature. You name it, you could do it now with Type in Dimension. So we're gonna have some fun with that.
I agree. It's going to be super, super fun. Nick, your video did get delayed again. So I know, we're going to try to fix this. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and send you a link. We're going to switch over to the other side and try that.
Yes.
And in the
Perfect.
meantime, what I'm going to do is y'all are just going to pretty much see a blank space on my desktop. And I'm going to tell you a little bit more about how you can get involved. Again, go to our Discord down below. And I want to introduce you all to someone who's very special on our Discord. Let me go over here. So on this Discord, over in the corner, you can actually see the message that's happening right there at the bottom. It's Elizabeth. Elizabeth is one of our good friends, and she is hanging out with us here on Office Hours. I'm going to actually cut to the holding screen for a second, but I'll keep talking. In that Discord, there is a side that has a different channel in it. And in that channel, what you can do is you can actually join a live chat that's happening right now, a voice chat. And that voice chat is live, happening right now. They're probably talking about all the things that are going on the stream. But go over, join that voice chat, hang out, and it will be a fun time. We're getting Nick in here, so give me just a second while I do that. For a second, you're going to see two of my face. Hello, welcome back to two of my face. I'm Andrew Hockrattle, and I'm Andrew Hockrattle. I know, it's fun. So yeah, stick around. We're going to get this up. We're going to get Nick in here in just a second, and then we're going to hop into our lecture, which is going to be just a grand old time. All right, let's do this. Let's get Nick in here, and then let's flip over here. Look at that. There he is.
Coming at you from a whole other way.
It's true. Nick has so many different ways to get into this show.
This is crazy.
It's really true.
Well, at least we got it.
Yeah, and you know this show's live. We like to do it live. Oh, dang it!
We like to prove it to you every week.
Yeah, somebody freaking screen capped like the perfect moment of just me and both sides. You guys missed it. Go check it out on Discord. All right, let's hop in and let's start talking. And just to point out, if you guys want to, right over here in the on-air channel, which is covered up right now in the office hours down here, you can join our cabin chat. And the cabin chat, there we go. The cabin chat is all the way at the bottom. Elizabeth is in there. She'll be coming on the show a little bit later. But y'all can go into cabin chat, say hi to Elizabeth, and tell her your favorite flavor of ice cream right now. So you can do that. Channel's right there. Go do that. All right, Nick, let's hop in. Yeah. I like that we were like, we have so much time, we don't have announcements. And then, of course, catch us on fire.
Gone.
That's how it works.
Where do we want to start? The bottom of the homework and work our way up?
Oh, yeah. Let's look at homework. Let's do that.
Perfect.
So there also is a homework channel. And look at, there are some people still posting. Let's start here with Mimi.
Wow, I love that it's already there. Mimi's cracked me up so bad. I love the overlay of all of the comments and the commentary. This was wonderful. Very, very cool.
Yes.
Stuff here.
I feel like there were a lot of cats in the homework, which is one of my favorite things. And also,
but look at her improvement.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's awesome. Pretty good. And y'all can see we are giving the merit badges to these ones that are going through. We do have merit badges for you if you do the homework. And Elizabeth, of course, clean up the desk. Elizabeth, I love that you have the Jackson Pollock all over the walls.
That is so great.
Yep. And also major props for tiny hands. There's some tiny hands hanging out on the desk. It's perfect.
They look like medium hands.
That's true. All right, let's look at a couple more of these.
Great.
Okay, here's one from Laura. We cleaned up our desktop.
That no one needs to see what's going on my second monitor right now. I wouldn't even. At least her before is in order. She's got it in the the grid system, which is kind of nice.
Yep.
But isn't that the best feeling when you clean up your desktop and now all you see is that? But how fast do we do it again? That's the problem.
Yep. And I love this. So Giortima, this was we looked at collaboration and storing files in Creative Cloud and making sure that all your files are together. And Giortima went through and organized all of his fonts, which is awesome. Great. And there is a full structure here, which is awesome. Y'all can screenshot this, use this for your file structure. And then we see in here, everything is super organized. So fantastic job. Y'all killed it with the homework. That was amazing. Yeah. If you want to, again, join the homework channel. We're going to have really fun. Nick, do you want to give a clue to what we're doing today?
For homework?
Yeah.
It's going to involve your musical tastes. So get ready for that. And I'm building one too. I'm going to do this one as well.
Yes.
This is going to be a blast.
It's going to be fun. All right.
And what better way to learn from each other, right?
It's very true.
We're just teasing like crazy.
I know. Let's go ahead and hop over into our lecture for this week. We're starting out with accountability. Let's just jump in, Nick. Let's talk about the buddy system we're set up, why it's important, all that stuff.
Yeah, and it was so good to see that you guys had kind of taken this and just ran with it last week. And the idea here is we wanted to give you guys a great follow-up from that to figure out now what to do. And what better way to be accountable than to have your buddy kind of help you along the way. And Andrew and I were laughing because we've been put into this thing by having to be accountable for each other. And little by little, we've learned how to work together and do those things and anticipate what someone might need, what he does, what I do. And it really helps to create, I can't imagine doing a lot of these things solo. which is really the way. So we're hoping this could be really something cool. Having one can be a total game changer with this buddy system. And that was the whole point we did it number 1. So it comes for you, and it's like reaching all of your goals and expanding your creativity. One of those things too is how many times did we get a question that would be about, I want to get better with this, or I'm not reaching those goals or whatever. Why are you doing it alone, right? Do it with a buddy.
Yep.
So some of the things that you guys are going to be communal with, what are you going to be a part of together, are your goals, your plans for achieving those goals, and then how to put those goals into actions and make them plans.
Yep.
Does that make sense?
Yep. So today, that's going to be the notes you're taking. That's going to be the takeaway, is hopefully you will learn how to be accountable and how to like get to your goals, not on your own, right?
Yes.
And it's so important. So again, if you have problems, the buddies can help. Nick, how can they help?
So how it can help. We're on which one are we on now?
Issues you can resolve.
One. Oh yeah, perfect. All right, so how it can help you guys with these issues. If you feel like you're hitting a certain plateau, or if you're ready to just completely jump, but you need that help in aligning and getting the best foot forward, that's a great way that you guys can help each other out. Also, if you need help supporting and getting something that's entrepreneurial, or getting your passion for growth or sustainability, that's another way to do it too. I always love when the folks that I share any work that I'm working on or whatever, we now know what we can push each other with and help them with them, particularly creative blocks and things like that, right? I mean, like, how many times does that happen on a normal week?
Oh, all the time. The amount of times that I'm like stuck on something and I have either a friend or a mentor that I'm like, hey, I'm going to go for a walk for 20 minutes. Do you want to just like talk? And it's not necessarily like, hey, help guide me through whatever the process is. It's just like, hey, can you just help me like figure out what's going on right now? Most of the time, oh, I definitely did something bad. I broke it.
That's
Hold
okay.
on. Hold, please.
There we go.
Everything's going to be all right, everyone. Don't freak out.
We're good.
Let's get a Nick in here.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
But I think it's, again, going back to what we were saying, it doesn't even have to be the business or the project related thing. It could be, I love that half screen of us. That looks fantastic.
I fixed it.
Wonderful. But again, don't think it has to be always about the project, the goal, or whatever. Just like you said, sometimes it just could be, I need to talk about something other than design at this moment, right?
Yep.
Like that could be a game changer all the time.
Absolutely. All right, so let's talk about ideas for meetings, right? It's great to have a buddy, right? We're great. We have our buddies set up here. Hopefully you've joined the Discord. You have your buddy. You're ready to go. What are we supposed to be doing when we do buddy check-ins? If we're hanging out with them, we're having conversations, what does that look like?
Yeah, let's brainstorm this because I think there's some good ones here, but I'd love to see chat. What do you think would be a great benefit or an idea you two can meet on that doesn't have to be even business related or creative related. Some of the stuff here, I think having support is fantastic. If I know I'm just boggled down with work and there's something still due tomorrow, I can ask the buddy, I can ask my creative friend, can you handle this part, and maybe vice versa, and then we can kind of, help each other out. Accountability is obviously a big part of what this is all about too. So even just checkpoints, did you get that in? Like, let's look at a calendar. Brainstorming, one of my favorite things to do. Name development, tagline and mottos and things like that. If you can get on the phone or a message thing with your buddy and brainstorm something together, totally fun idea.
Yep.
Goal strategy is another one, right? Like, how do you get to these goals? What can I do? Putting a plan together. But the best thing you could do, and this is like what I think it's all about, is doing some challenges. Do something great. There's so many cool ones you could do with like Adobe Live stuff. You can find a great one to do. Also, like, just do a quick one, like redesign the Snapchat logo and give yourself 30 minutes and you and your buddy try it and maybe even work live. I think it's great to see how other creatives hit the canvas.
Yep.
And that to me is one of the best things you can do. What do you think? Is there anything else we missed here? What would you like to see?
I think that it's good to have it for like mental health support as well. And just like
call.
general, just like hangout check-in of like, hey, let's just like, let me decompress my day. Having a mentor, having a buddy is a great way to just be able to like chill from the day and get rid of all of the non-creative stuff, right? Here on Office Hours, we like to talk a lot about the design, a lot about the creative stuff, but also a lot of not. You also need that in your buddy in accountability. You also need to have someone that you can just kind of vent to. If there's drama, whatever it is, just be like, hey, my clients are a nightmare. I need to talk to somebody about it or else I'm going to eat them alive. Like,
unfortunately, that's been most of my conversations over the last 2 weeks.
That's true. Nick and I have done some planning accountability, but we've also done some client management.
Let's just call it client management.
Yeah,
right?
client management.
I love it. What's up next, man?
So I want to hop into a couple. This is kind of when it gets into a weird zone, right? We talk about accountability. Yeah. It's great to have a buddy. It's great to have somebody to check in with you, but sometimes those conversations like are awkward because you just want to be like, oh, hey, so like it's going great. Yeah. All right, cool. Sounds good. And sometimes you need to have that conversation of like, hey, things are not going well. Like you need to be further on this project. Like if you're not going to hold yourself to it, it's my job to hold you to what you said. And so this is a vent chat. Yeah, vent chat is on. So this is kind of a structure that I've made for having those conversations with someone of trying to go through and have those kind of hard accountability conversations, right? So Nick, if we were talking about maybe the homework last week, right? Yeah. So the homework last week was to clean up, organize something, whether it's your files, whether it's your desk, whether it's your room, to get ready for office hours, to get ready for the summer, just kind of do a deep cleaning, right? So Nick, our goal last week, right? We talked and we really wanted to clean something, organize something. And it was super exciting when we did it. I know that like our initial conversation, you were really, really excited, about what we were going to do, right? So there I just reviewed the goals and then I acknowledged the past, right? I talked about, cool, in the past, you had this feeling to what the assignment was or what you were going to do, right? So then we go over, so like, how are you doing? Like, how'd you do this week? Did you go in and like clean anything? Like what happened this week?
Yeah, I did not. And I think this is the perfect example of it. I did that purposely for this exercise.
Yeah, exactly. So did I, Nick, just in case you asked me the same questions. Exactly. I also did not do the homework.
But I think that's a perfect thing because it's like now you can be kind of the, you know, the principal there and kind of ask, let's talk about this, right?
Totally. Yep. And so we ask about the present. Hey, what's going on with it? Oh, cool. Here's the progress, right? The progress. Okay, the progress hasn't been made. And then I move on to accepting or rejecting excuses, right? So then I'm like, cool, Nick, like what happened this week that, you know, you didn't get as far as you wanted to, right? And so, sorry, this is another big thing with having conversations with accountability is never make it about you to be like, oh, I'm disappointed in you for not doing the homework. To say, hey, when we last talked, you had a goal of doing this. You were really excited about it. And so let's assess the progress. Okay, it sounds like you didn't get to where you wanted to go. So what happened this week that kind of made it hard for you to do that?
Yeah, and if you're doing these weekly, let's say, I don't know if there's any real excuse in a way of not getting something done. Because my favorite part of this one is the acknowledging the past. When you can go back to when you've done it before and how it changed your process, how it changed your flow of that week, gave you a good enthusiasm. I think that's the best selling point to someone who maybe has fallen short on the goal.
Yep, totally. You know what I mean? Yep. And I think that like checking in and kind of hearing where they are makes it much more personal, right? So for me, I would be like, oh man, I didn't get to it this week. It was a really crazy week. But then I also like went to a couple like movie screenings in Orange County that were like super fun, advanced screenings with some of my friends. Like Tuesday night I went over, had tacos. And so then to me, right, that's hearing those excuses, then I would kind of come in and be like, okay, cool. So it sounds like you prioritized other things over the goal, right? And then that opens a conversation of not that like I'm disappointed or you should have done it. It opens a conversation to, okay, cool. Do you need to prioritize those things? Like, were you having a stressful week and you needed to get away? That's totally fine. Like if there's, if it's possible, what's the plan to the future, right? And that's when you move into, okay, is there timeline that like, it's totally fine that you didn't prioritize it. We have time to do that. Let's go ahead and prioritize it now, or something else. So Nick, in the future, what's a plan that maybe we can look at to completing the homework from last week in the future?
Well, I could just say, let me just set a new deadline to tomorrow or something uniquely active. I think as long as it's proactive and it's me saying, I got to get back that feeling of getting on board, being organized and everything that, like, when you go back to the kind of the past. So I would make something immediate and just say, it's going to happen tomorrow.
Absolutely.
And check me then.
Yes. And Mimi says, I want Hawk to be my therapist. The only reason I know this is because I have a great therapist. So everyone go to therapy. It's usually covered if you have health insurance. So continuing on, yes. So for the future, for me, my roommates are going out of town on Sunday for the next week. And when I clean, I like to do everything in a single day. I like to do it on my own. I will do laundry. I'll clean the house. And so for me, I'm like, okay, cool. I think that next week it will actually be great. Like I'll like clean everything, do all my laundry. I can do the whole house. And that way I'll have a whole day to myself. And so I'm like, cool. For me in the future, here are ways that I can prioritize that. And that's something that's exciting to me. And so it helps me to get back into where I actually started. So
and next week, your accountability coach, I would say that sounds like a plan.
Yes, sounds great. We agreed on the plane and We agreed on the plan, and now we can have the same conversation next week as we check in.
Perfect.
So, but when you're going into those conversations at the beginning, you need to mark your trail guide. So having that with Nick, right? And initially, we should have had the conversation of, hey, Nick, so I need to clean my desk over the next week. My expectation is that you would check in with me, send me a Slack message, just see, if I'm working on it or like what's going on in my week, right? Then, hey, can you make sure you check in maybe on Wednesday? And I'll just, shoot you a message Wednesday, or maybe, Nick and I check in every Thursday morning to record our promos. Hey, Nick, on Thursday morning, make sure you ask me about this, right? Then we need to prioritize it. Nick and I are so good at pushing events. So our 9:30 meeting usually turns into like an 11:30 or 1. But it's still something that's a priority, that it is happening, that check-in is always going to happen every week. And we're accountable to each other to get that video done, to get the planning ready so that we can show you guys on Friday. And then we celebrate success. We always, at the end of the show, we finish. And the first thing we always say is like, oh man, that was a great show. Or we say like, oh man, we really dropped the ball there. But usually it's like, man, that was a great show. That felt so good. And so we always celebrate the success. So this is a good structure.
You want those over and over again. I think that's what builds the repetition of it and the success that you're celebrating something great. I don't like to disappoint people as well.
Yep.
And I think we can all say too, sometimes we think of other people before ourselves when it comes to that. So this accountability thing just really works fantastic when you have someone else on board.
Yep. And I think that we're like 60 some episodes and we still get excited because we celebrate the success every week.
Exactly. You're right. That is so true.
Oh, this is a big green screen that just says fact. Nick, what's the fact that we need to talk about?
This is exactly what we were just saying. Celebrating these wins and noticing again that rhythm. This is basically the kind of reoccurrence of these great things and vocalizing it, meaning like you have high-fived with someone, you have said, great job. That builds the culture for this relationship 100%. And I love this idea of it's like it puts that equity in your relationship tank. It gives you the depth to be able to deal with any harder issue that's going to come down the road too. We build off these successes. So don't forget, these are those things to really nurture and celebrate and announce.
Yep. And let's do something in chat that I think would be fun. Let's give some high fives in chat, right? We just talked about giving high fives. Go ahead and tag someone in chat for something they've done, for something you like about their work, and give them a little high five emoji, as well as an @ tag right there. We could all get on Zoom and do a happy dance. Oh boy. Actually, if you want to celebrate success with us, you can join, again, the Discord
right here.
Down here. We always hang out. We have a little cabin chat at the end of the show for 5-10 minutes after the show, right there in the voice channel. And you can literally hop in there, and at the end of the show, it's right down here. We can see Elizabeth, Steven, and some other friends are in here. So you can hop in there and we'll hang out at the end of the show, say hi, and we'll celebrate together another week of office hours.
Perfect.
So
there
Nick,
we go.
Things you can do on your own. Sometimes you don't necessarily need to have the buddy to make you do everything. What are some things you can do on your own?
Yeah, or just to supplement what you're doing with your buddy, create a blog. I think anything that's dated, I think that's kind of the common thread here in the first three, is things that are dated, things that make you responsible for times that you have put on the calendar. So if you've created a blog and you do regularly scheduled posts, tie that into your accountability. Maybe you do an accountability blog. The other thing to do, I'm the visual person. I need a calendar that's like right behind my monitor, and it will give me those dates that I can look at. So hanging up a calendar is a wonderful idea to be like totally ready and know what's coming up in the week ahead. I I hate those surprises as well. So knowing when I can look at it at just a quick glance. The other thing is, are you doing a social media campaign? Are you doing anything that's timed as well? Maybe it's you're trying to sharpen your skills in hand lettering. So do a new hand lettering thing each day, and your audience will keep you accountable. Never forget this. This is the most important thing. Like we were just saying, celebrating the wins. Reward yourself with something. If you have a pretty big goal in mind, give yourself a reward at the end, right? Have it in, like, I'll put it on a Post-it, right? And have it right above my monitor. That is that time. It's a weekend getaway, or it's something really cool that will reward yourself with it. Like, let's face it, that kind of drives us, right?
Yep, totally. And I think, so for me, I love the reward yourself at the end of the week. I like to do it right at the end of the week. I have it on my calendar every Friday night, and I literally have sitting in front of my desk on my headphones, my $5 bill. And after this show, I'm going to go work out. And then that $5 bill is going to pinball. I'm going to go play pinball, and I go play pinball on Friday nights, pop in my headphones, go relax and hang out. And it's like my reward for the week. And so I just have a bunch of fives that sit on my desk. And I have a couple in my desk just for like, cool, every Friday it's right here. And I know I'm just going to grab it, and then I'm going to go and hang out and play some pinball.
There you go. Such a wizard.
Right? Always ready. All right, more facts, Nick. These feel like your slides. Like, this feels jolting, but I'm like excited for what we've got.
Yeah, and this is what we're moving into now, where it comes to this mentorship. And I love the idea here that not only can you be looking for a mentor, but don't forget, anyone who is a mentor or a mentee becomes a mentor down the road. But these are some really cool facts about mentorship. Only 37% of professionals can say they've actually had a mentor. So as big as this topic is, it's really not 100% like seen so much, right? At this percentage, it seems very low. But on the flip side, 89% of those people that were mentees go on to mentor somebody. So the more influence you get from someone, you will give back later. And I think that's the number one thing to think about when we talk about mentorships. I love doing it as well now. I still gravitate to people that can help me, and now I can help others. So it's kind of like this continual chain, which is just fantastic.
Yep, absolutely. So which transitions us into the second part of this conversation, right? It's good to have a buddy. It's good to have someone to keep you accountable. But then there's another level of that is a mentor, right? And a mentor is, so buddies are more this level. A mentorship kind of becomes this level, right? That it's someone to look up to. And this is actually, before we get into mentorship at all, this is a great conversation to start. Colby says, is it worth paying for like an hour of mentorship from a designer you admire? Ooh. I've seen a lot of this. Nick, what do you think about this?
Yes, I 100% agree. There's something that gravitated you to that person to begin with before you probably even knew that they might offer that, So I'm seeing both. I'm seeing people offer it for a price, and then I'm seeing people that are just doing it out of a great conversation that might start on social media. What do you think?
I don't know. I'm actually curious to see what everyone else thinks. Because like, as someone that does mentorship, right, that Nick and I do mentor sessions, in my brain, I'm like, dude, like this would be great if like you could book hours and consult. And so there's a part of my brain that's like, yeah, it's like consulting for your life. Yes. And so I charge clients to consult. So maybe we should charge. But then the other side is like, oh man, but this is community and I want to invest in it. I know. And so I think it becomes kind of that choice. If you want to pay, if you respect them and you're like, yeah, I totally would give them my money. I'd love that. If it's value to you, do it. If you think that it's not valuable to you, don't do it. I think that that's really the takeaway in my brain. And so I think it could be worth it or it could not be worth it, but it's up to you. I'm not against it. I think it could be a good idea is kind of where I land.
And Kobe, give me an idea of maybe what you were thinking of, because when you say 1 hour mentorship, it sounds like that's one and done. Not a mentorship is more like continual, like once a week, once a month kind of check-in, but maybe it's an hour of instruction or something amazing that person does that you're like, your process is incredible. Can I just go along with that process for an hour and pay you for that time? That I can see. So it needs some definition, I think. Don't you agree?
And I think Katie said it. I would guess a single session wouldn't be quite the same as a long-term relationship. Yes, I think mentorships are more long-term relationship, and that is more of like a consulting. I've definitely thought about that. So the only time I've really thought about that is with Andy J. Miller, Andy J. Pizza. He has like a podcast network, all kinds of stuff. And I think that he's in a zone that I would like to work toward.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to, he's the only person I've ever looked at of like, hey, can I just book an hour with you and just talk through where I want to go, how you think I can accomplish these goals? Because he's someone who's been on that journey. And so to me, that would be extremely valuable just for that hour. And then I would have to take the rest on my own. But as far as mentorship, I'm not going to be like, hey, will you mentor me for, $100 a week for an hour call? Like, that's just not going to be valuable to me in the long run. So I think it depends.
And each option is going to be totally different. Someone might just be like, yeah, spend an hour with me. Let's do it. Like, you never know. But I think the connection part is what we agree that it's so worth it. How it happens, that could be, up to you guys when you're talking.
Yep. So Nick.
Yes,
great.
Let's get into this.
Great for mentorships. We can buy them. We can have them. We can do all this. But who are we looking for?
All right. So you want to define those goals. I think like Kobe and maybe anybody else in chat, throw out a goal really quick of what you can get better at, what you would seek a mentor for, right? So when you make this and you make that list of your goals, what's out there, now that mentorship can be completely useful for anything you're doing. And you want to find that person that might be already doing it, kind of like you said what Andy does, right? Don't limit yourself to just one, two. I don't think there's this magic formula that you're just going to find that one and be fine with it. You can learn from totally different people in many different ways. And I think that's why networking and with conferences coming back, that to me happens so naturally because you meet these people and now you're having this multiple level of folks. Man, why not?
Absolutely.
Love that.
So let's talk about some places to find mentors, right? The World Wide Web, the internet, right? A great website called twitter.com. Follow people you like. I know that people like Dan Petty is an amazing mentor. He's a huge advocate for mentorships as well. I think he has like some programs and stuff.
Yes.
And I think it's just at Dan Petty. Wade, if you can grab a link, it's DANNPETTY. TTY.
Yes.
And so he's a great person to follow. He's always retweeting jobs, mentorships, all kinds of stuff. So he's a great place to start. And then maybe just follow people on Twitter. You can reach out on Twitter to say, hey, I'm looking for a mentor, see if anyone comes up. Or even just go after people that you really respect and see if they have time and see if they're able. But don't get mad if they don't, because sometimes, we're all busy. The internet, I've heard of it. Yes, Wade. Next up, this is actually a very special one, conferences and events. Nick, have you ever met anyone at a conference or an event that's like turned into like mutual mentorship?
Not really, except for the fact that office hours basically established from a conference, believe it or not. That's how Andrew and I met at our buddy Matt's crop conference, which is coming back next year, which is so exciting. Just heard. But yeah, this is where, oh gosh, guys, if there's something I can stress so much now that we're getting back to this world, get on board with these things. I know, like, what's the one that's happening in Memphis in October?
Creative
Works, right? So they're all starting to kind of put out some dates and everything.
Yep.
Hopefully you've saved a little cash to get on board with some of these things. If there's one local, best solution by far, because there's something about that face-to-face meetup. Now it can continue digitally and virtually, not so much in a mentorship thing, but just as a great person to have to kind of bounce ideas with.
Yep. And if you guys are not saved up for a conference and are looking for something to do, just keep September 4th open on your calendars. That's all I can say now. But just
hint.
Yeah, just like put a little note on your calendar, September 4th, just to make sure that you're open, because we'll be doing some fun stuff that day. All right. So another way is Discord. I just spilled my water. Another way is Discord communities. Yeah, Nick, go ahead. You can take over.
I think we've seen how Discord communities have become super strong. Great ways to meet new people and become family at that thing. I think it's just wonderful. You guys are doing that as well. Local meetups. I mean, those are really, really kind of coming up, and I'm seeing a few of them just start in the next few weeks. So, like, how great to do that as well. I love this last one too, past clients and employees. If you are not connected to these folks via LinkedIn or other social media, I mean, get on board with that right now. So much of my daily kind of stuff comes from the fact that I have such a great background of past clients and employees and employers.
Yep, absolutely. And there have been so many times that it's gone either way, that mentors have turned into employers, or employees have then turned into the other way around. Gosh. But I think it's really important to be looking for that on either side of that. And yes, Nick was having trouble typing in chat, and I'm having trouble talking with my mouth. So continuing on, this is actually a really interesting point that I'm going to elaborate on. Nick, what's the idea of getting someone different?
Yes, we were just saying this whole idea, like look for something different, switch it up, go 180 degrees. So if you are quiet or reserved, spend time with an outgoing extrovert person. I think this is a good way to think about it. It doesn't have to just be skill set and capabilities and all that kind of stuff. It might even just be like kind of breaking down your wall, whatever it might be. If you are a creative with a big picture thinker, that's probably most of us here, right? Go for someone that's very data or analytical. Like there's a way to think about this as someone who is completely opposite of you. I could say that the best mentorships I got were the people who were very extroverted. And I never thought I was. And that kind of what rubs off from spending time with people like that is really amazing.
You're not extroverted?
No, I think I am now.
Okay.
But but I mean like spending time with people like that over the course of like college years, your first few jobs, it molds you. That these are the kind of like, again, you want to be around people that are different or what you're trying to be, especially if you're stuck at like a little bit of a rut.
Yep. And with that, with personality, it's also important to cover your blind spots, right? It's not just personality. Sometimes it's discipline. Yes. So if you're bad at business, find a mentor who specializes in business.
Totally.
Mine was Peter Del Tondo, who maybe you all have seen. He's done a lot of XD streams. He just did the last Imagine branding stream with me a couple weeks ago, but he's become a mentor to me in the business side of things, helping me set up business, helping me negotiate higher rates with clients. And if your mentors don't have to always be in your respective disciplines, right? I have a mentor that helps me with project management, who always checks in, who's like, hey, you should do this. You should check in with the client here. You should do this. You should send these emails. And it's something that helps me cover my blind spots that I wouldn't get mentorship from someone who is directly a designer, right?
Yeah, it's good to think a little bit different on this one, I think, too. And again, like we were saying, with multiple mentors, why not find one that could be in this space that's a little bit different or something you're really struggling with and there's just no other option?
Yep, absolutely. Yeah. All right, continuing on, checklist for asking a mentor. What do we need to do to ask someone to be our mentor? How do we propose?
Yes. So we got some checklists here, but then after this, we have two really great resources. Use the next two slides we'll show you in a second as reference that you can, these will be on Discord later on after our conversation
They're
today.
already on Discord.
There you go. So we're giving you great examples. But the first thing you want to do, schedule that initial conversation. Finding someone is step one, obviously, but scheduling that initial conversation. Clearly describe the guidance you are seeking. I think it's wonderful to hear from someone that is looking for advice or some direction. I think it does make anyone go like, whoa, you're coming to me? Like, you know what I mean? So I think there's something really nice about that part, making sure it's front and center. You want to confirm your willingness to do the work. I think that is number one. When I see someone has that drive to get better and do better, you want to reward that person. You want to help that person. I think that shows that you are willing to do the work. And then you want to acknowledge and respect that person's individual time. So that's number 4 on this list. But again, that's how you would maybe end the conversation. But let's show them what we have as far as our next up thing.
Yes.
So these are all courtesy. I found these on Yale University has incredible resources when it comes to this kind of stuff. They're really heavy on pushing the mentorship program. Here's 2 really great letters you can use as reference, but we want to highlight a few things here. If you are asking someone that you know, so if you know them through some connection, you've met them already at a conference or whatever, here's a great kind of intro paragraph. I might even cut this down a little bit. Like it's a little bit lengthy. What do you think? I think sometimes it's like
too much.
You want to be brief and to the point.
Yeah.
Right? So the highlighted things here. I feel the need for some mentoring. You're developing this idea of what you need and what you're asking them for. Maybe it's a casual meet for coffee or something. It could even be a quick Zoom thing. You want to even say 60 minutes once a month. Give them some idea of this isn't a big commitment, right? 60 minutes, an hour a month, not too bad. Every other month might even be even easier. You're going to do meeting agendas. I love when someone sends me a meeting request and it has an agenda on it. So put that out there as well, and make sure you're talking about action items. What are the things that, like, when we leave this conversation, as a mentor, I'm going to do my best to be accountable and come back and show you what I'm going to do.
Yep, absolutely.
What do you think about this one? I think it's like cutting it back a little bit. This is giving you everything you might need, but give it a shot.
And I actually think the one for someone that you don't know, like this length feels better for me.
Much better.
But this one is great as well, to just say, hey, here's who I am, here's what I do, here's what I'm looking for, and here's how you can help me. Like boom, 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 boom. I'm done. Got it.
Yes, and this is a great one too, going back to what Kobe had mentioned too. I love this line about, I would love to hear your career story and ask you a few questions about it. The career path, maybe it's just that. I think 9 out of 10 questions I get are all about that, like, I'm looking for the new job or the next promotion, or I'm trying to think of something 10 years ahead. How do I get there?
Yep.
So putting it in there, that's making, first of all, it's kind of making that person go like, whoa, I guess I've done something good, right? With my life. Someone's asking. So I love that part.
Yep. And so I think that's it. We were going to tell some stories about mentorships, but they kind of came up organically through what we were talking about, right, Nick?
Yeah.
Did you have a story that you want to share?
I think my best is the fact that I had one CEO, his name was Peter, and when he came to our company, the one thing he did was he taught by example, and everything he did as my boss trickled down to me as a boss. And I love that idea of, like, it wasn't even like, here's written mentorships, we didn't meet regularly and do this thing, but sometimes it just happens so organically. And I love that idea. And I think that's the way, that trickle down kind of thing is probably my favorite way that this whole mentorship thing can work, Yep. So it's just worth mentioning that I think that to me is how I've always appreciated it more.
Yep. And someone in Discord is saying that they can hear dings on the stream. There is music happening in the background, and the music like has dings in it.
Oh, there you
go. I don't know how soft the music comes through on the actual stream. It's pretty soft in my ears as well. So if you guys want it louder, I can turn that up. But there definitely is music with dings, so you might just be hearing the dings depending on what the level is. Speaking of Discord, let's hop over there. And I want to have a conversation just real quick with our friend Elizabeth.
Yes.
On the show, we love to bring you live on the show, which is super fun. And so the way that you can do that is you can always join our office hours right over here, cabin chat. It's hiding. Let me minimize this. There we go. So you can join the cabin chat, which is right over here. You can see that there's a bunch of people in there, and you can hang out there, have voice chat, and who knows, we may drag you over into the live channel. Nick, if we want to flip over into our secret channel, then we can bring Elizabeth over, and we're just going to talk about maybe what she would be looking for in a mentorship and kind of how she thinks that she would go about it, and kind of have a little fun coaching. So let's go ahead, hop over into that channel, mute our Zoom, and then we can party. All right, so let me go ahead, move Nick around there. I'm going to mute myself here, and there we go. We are going to hop into that channel, and I'm going to bring Elizabeth over. Hi, Elizabeth.
Hello.
How are you?
Hello.
Okay, muting now.
There we go. We've got everyone in, I think. All right, so Elizabeth, let's go ahead and chat a little bit about, actually, let's do this. This could be fun to just do this screen up here. Let's chat a little bit about mentorships. Have you ever had a mentor in your life, like creatively at all?
I mean, I have professors, yeah.
So if you were, what year are you, or where are you in your career?
So I am going to be in my senior year of university next year, so I'm excited.
Great.
Yes. So here's the question for you. All right. So you're graduating, right? You're going to be going out to the world. We're looking into the imaginary future. You're going into the world, ready to go. What are you looking for as someone who's about to make that transition in a mentor?
Mm-hmm. I guess I kind of want a friend. I want someone who can coach me and like figure things out along the way, as someone just joining the workforce,
Yeah,
I guess.
Yeah, that's interesting. And are you looking for someone who's like the seasoned professional that's like, oh, I'm gonna like really button up, give you the advice, or do you want someone who's like, yeah, we'll just hang out and I'll like tell you what I know and we'll figure it out as we go, kind of thing?
I think it's good to have a balance of both, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah.
I totally
What
agree.
would be, what's your aspiration? What do you want to, where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Oh man, that's a loaded question.
Make it 5. Make it 5. Five's a better
Okay.
one. Yeah.
Well, I know what I enjoy doing, but I'm not quite sure what I want to be. I'm just gonna be whatever I end up being. But I would love to do like art direction down the road, and then
Yeah.
I'm really interested in graphic design and animation. So
Great.
yeah.
Okay, so here's the question to you. If you were sending out that email to someone to be your mentor, it sounds like you kind of know what you want. What would be maybe your elevator pitch? What would be your email that would go out to them? And maybe we can help you like construct that for the future.
Mhm.
On the spot.
I guess it depends on who the mentor is or who the
Yeah.
professional is. But like, if I would probably contact someone about like animation and how that flows with like illustration as well, because that's also my emphasis in school. And I would probably, oh man, this this is a really long elevator pitch.
You can keep you can keep talking. We'll totally help you.
Keep going. Yeah. Like imagine if you contacted us. How can we help is the question.
Well, I guess getting feedback on my work, what things I can improve, and just maybe some industry tips too.
Cool.
Ooh.
So what I'm hearing, and this is kind of the other side of this, what I'm hearing is it could be a conversation that's basically like, hey, my name's Elizabeth. I'm just getting out of school and I want to do more illustration, more animation and graphic design. It seems like you know what's going on in that. And so I'd really love your advice on maybe of where to get started and maybe helping me make that transition. And I'd be super appreciative, of some kind of relationship where we could meet once a week and kind of go over looking at my work or just looking at kind of the trajectory that I'm heading, right? Something that's specific that says, here's what I do. So it's not just like, I don't know what's going on. Can you help me? Say, hey, I already do this. I have some established credibility. How can you help me get to that other part?
Yes.
Perfect. That was perfect. Thank you.
Good luck. And I'm sure we'll be checking in more and more as you keep going.
Oh yeah.
All right, I'm gonna throw you back into the cabin chat. Everyone, go join cabin chat, and you can hang out with the cool people like Elizabeth, and join in on the conversation. As well as that's where we'll be right after the show, doing a little breakdown. But Nick, we have something very special that we didn't do last week that we're gonna do this week.
Oh,
what is that?
It is time for some star campers.
That's right. Let me find the button.
We're throwing it back to the old days, and we want to do some portfolio reviews.
Yep. So where do we want to start with our star camper, Nick?
Let's see. We had a few here. I'm scrolling through. Was there anyone particular you wanted to start with? I've got them all up here.
Let's go ahead and start with the Imperial Stout by Colby. We've showed the work a couple times, but it's just gorgeous, and I feel like it's a good bar to set for being that star camper. Let's just go ahead and full screen this. Where's the button? F11. There we go.
There we go.
So Nick, let's walk through this project. Tell me your thoughts. This is your zone, so you're going to take the wheel on this one.
I love that it has the flavor and the vibe throughout the presentation. I think what I like about what Kobe's done here is he's really kind of put together, one, his look, and second, the flavor of the project itself makes it way into the case study with the headlines and the things that he's using with that hand kind of written font, which I really, really like. To me, this sets a tone right off the bat. Even seeing the bottles kind of a little tilted is telling me that that's a little bit fun. It's a little bit quirky. Love seeing the graphics and the elements. And what's really neat about it is like most of it is in like a one color vibe with some tints. And then you get to that last one there where he's got all of the great patterns and like it looks like a great mood board and everything that was kind of used, his inspiration board. This is just a really quick capture of what he did. I think it would be great to show a little bit of the behind the scenes of how he made that really great emblem and the shield and all of those graphics. Love to see a little bit of that. What do you think, man?
Yeah, I think it's amazing. And I love that like Nick and I, this is what we do is like, we do like the highlight, but we can't stop giving feedback. So yes, amazing star camper. You're a star camper this week. Great job. But I agree. So the thing that I want to see is I want to see people using it, right? And that's always the thing is how are you going to sell this to a client? How does it get to the end consumer? Have somebody that's opening or like pouring, have somebody that's taking a drink. Like I want to see a face in all of this. Even the bottling stuff is really cool in the packaging, but we're not seeing faces. I want to be able to connect with a person somewhere on here. So this work is amazing. I'd love to connect with a person, and I'd love a little more copy. I'm not mad about the amount of copy that there is at the beginning, but maybe one or two little pop outs on some of these images to talk about like the packaging process, the bottling process, or, you know, like we designed this wrap to do whatever on the bottle to make sure that it's facing this way or whatever. So something that even in this system that's like, oh, we built a full system that continues on, something to describe a little bit more for me.
Yeah. And if you go back to the top paragraph, it's more about the flavors of the beer rather than maybe your process and your kind of delivery of how you made this brand and how you brought it to life. So I think that's a hard balance. I struggle with that too all the time. Like you're like, I'm spending too much time talking about the brand and not enough about the development of the brand or flavors and things like that. So that balance is definitely something to maybe kind of work on a bit.
Yep. So this week, Colby, congratulations. You're our star camper. In future weeks, here's what I want you to do. If you are, again, not in the Discord, go join the Discord. And then in the summer camp channel right here, go ahead and drop a link to your portfolio, to your work, to your Behance. And each week we'll be picking one of those to be highlighted as our star camper at the end of the show. So make sure you go drop that in there. And Nick, we have one more thing to talk about. I'm very excited about it. You're very excited about it. It is a channel that we have on Discord, and that is our homework. So what we're doing...
Should we let him in on this?
Yes, but... So we've talked about homework before, and usually we have merit badges, right? Last week we had a merit badge, and we're introducing something that is very different from anything else on any Adobe show. We're going to tell you to not be on your computer. Well, this is technically on your computer, but this is away from design. It's getting out in the world, and this actually tacks on to something in the future that will be for you to not be on your computer. And we're doing something very special that's called Outdoor Adventure. Ooh, yay! Yes. We have a slide for it and everything. So we are doing Outdoor Adventure, and this week, Nick, what is our Outdoor Adventure homework for our friends?
Well, we wanted to do something that would be collaborative, would be cool. You can work, maybe you could do it with your buddy and it could be your list together, but we want you to create a creative playlist on whatever music source you use. What is the music you use to get inspired, to work with? I know I change my genres every single day, right? But let's see what everybody else can recommend. And the beautiful thing about this is we can share it with each other in the homework channel and throw in a link to the playlist that we want to make.
Yep. And Osvaldo, yes, sorry. Don't put the links into the Behance chat. Put them in Discord. Join the Discord down here and make sure that you drop them into Discord, not into the Behance chat, because I think that they just get auto-blocked on Behance. Drop them into the Discord, not there. But yes, look at this in Discord. Our friend Elizabeth already has the homework posted for our Outdoor Adventure. Create a playlist, creative music playlist. And the best thing is, we're going to go back to last week as well. We're wrapping up our segment on collaboration. This is something for you to collaborate on. Find your buddy, right? If you don't have a buddy, go to Discord and let us know that you don't have a buddy and you can find someone. But use your buddy to create a playlist with them, right? Go back and forth and do a playlist. Nick and I will make a playlist. Oh, that place is going to be wild.
Well, you can go from one extreme to the other.
Yep.
I know it.
Yep. So we will 100% have a playlist for you, which is going to be so much fun next week. And we hope that you all share your playlists in the homework channel. We'll go through and kind of look at the songs, see a little bit of a taste of who you and your buddy are next week.
Nothing says that more than a playlist of your favorites, and particularly try to keep that in mind too. It's all about that creative flow. What do you work with? What works great? What's going to be energizing? What's going to get you motivated? That's the kind of stuff we're looking for.
Absolutely. Oh man, Nick, our playlist is going to be so weird, and I'm so excited.
We're gonna break the internet.
Exactly. And I mean, this is what we talked about, right? Finding a buddy that has that 180 of you, that it's going to be super fun because we have completely different views, completely different tastes, and maybe Nick's going to have a song on there that I'm like, I haven't heard this. This is super great. Got me in the zone. And maybe I'll have something that Nick's like, okay, this is really weird, Andrew.
That's the best because it hasn't happened to me since I think working with people and working under an office where everyone gets to play DJ every once in a while.
Yep.
So we're doing that kind of virtually with each other. So I can't wait to see what everybody thinks. Throw out a favorite song right now. I'm just dying to see what everybody's
Oh
taste
yeah,
is right now.
everyone in chat, drop your favorite songs. And while you drop your favorite songs in chat, Nick, do you want to give a preview of what we're talking about next week? This is like a quiz for Nick.
That is so funny because I don't have I can't pull that up right now.
I know you can't pull it up right now. We talked
Go
about
for
it. Okay. So next week we are doing typography basics. Typography
Yes.
basics. So we are moving from our collaboration segment, which was the last 2 weeks, into a new rotation, and that will be typography. We'll be talking about typography basics next week. We'll show you how to use Adobe fonts. We'll talk about serifs. I'll probably
Great
show you
resources too.
Yep, I'll show you maybe a little hands-on of how to build your own font. Which will be fun. I'll show you how to like figure out letter forms, get everything flowing. You really only need 3 or 4 letters, and then the rest of the alphabet falls into order. So I'll show you how to do that. Safe for work playlist? No, not on office hours. No. It's any song. There's for sure going to be some Cardi B's going to be on there, and there's 0 that is safe for work. And then Nick, the week after, what are we going to be doing? Continuing our typography series.
Take that, and we're going to show you how to do some 3-dimensional type in dimension, and even we might as well just throw an arrow for this because you can save it in your Creative Cloud and add it to all of your social media posts.
Yes.
Let's just go for the complete mess.
Why not? Full send.
Yes.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us this week on Office Hours Summer Camp. We'll be back next week with another episode, 2:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time every time. And I just remembered another homework thing that I didn't do. I said that I'd have a calendar set up for you, and I don't. So I'll work on that. We'll get you a calendar. Man, I'm slacking. I need some good buddies to keep me accountable. So chat.
I need some music.
That's you. We'll get some music to you next week. Have a great week, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Call a friend and tell them that you love them. Bye.
See you later.
Hi, Flynn.